Good morning. I'm Gail Hackett, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, and it is my very great pleasure to welcome you to the official ceremony that opens the academic year, the 2016 Faculty Convocation. I'd like to start today's program by introducing my distinguished colleagues on the platform party. Platform members, please remain standing until the entire platform party is recognized. Michael Rao, President of VCU and the VCU Health System. Marsha Rappley, Vice President for Health Sciences and CEO of the VCU Health System. James Mays, Associate Dean, College of Humanities and Sciences. John Accordino, Interim Dean, L. Douglas Wilder School of Government and Public Affairs. Andrew Dare, Dean of the School of Education. James Frazier, Interim Dean of the School of the Arts. Jerry Strauss, Dean of the School of Medicine. Cecil Drain, Dean of the School of Allied Health Professions. Ed Greer, Dean of the School of Business. Dave Surratt, Dean of the School of Dentistry. John Leonard, Executive Associate Dean for Administration and Finance, Dean of the School of Engineering. Doug Boudneau, Dean of the Graduate School. Barry Falk, Dean of the Honors College. Gene Giddens, Dean of the School of Nursing. Joe DePiro, Dean of the School of Pharmacy. Jim Hinterlong, Dean of the School of Social Work. Shelley Fowler, Interim Dean of University College. Rob Tomes, Vice Provost, VCU Health Sciences. Now you can sit. Our other distinguished members of the platform party will be recognized later in the program. Members from the Faculty Senate are also in the audience this morning. I'd like to ask that our Faculty Senate President, Holly Alford, and other Faculty Senate members please stand. We are also pleased to have a member of VCU's Board of Visitors with us here today, Benson Dendy and Colette McEachin. Will you please also stand? At this time, I would like to take a moment to ask our past award recipients to please stand and be recognized. Thank you for coming to celebrate the continued achievements of our wonderful faculty. Now it is my pleasure to introduce our president, Michael Rao.
Thank you, Gail, and thank you for helping us get off to a great start this year. Well, today we gather together to celebrate the very best of the best, and the faculty at VCU is certainly the best from my standpoint. And so we will recognize a number of colleagues this year in particular. Among them, Michael Davis, someone who has committed his entire career to the success of students and our colleagues as well, but is also committed to the improvement of schools throughout the Commonwealth. And I describe Michael as quietly dedicated, and I'm very proud of him, and we'll talk more about him later. Sami Al-Shal, my other colleague, who is just in constant pursuit of knowledge and absolutely dedicated to bridging the divides. And his students are so deeply engaged in the work that he's doing, and he gives them what some of them describe as intense experiential learning. And so he just has this wonderfully contagious enthusiasm for learning, and I'm very proud of him. Sonia Clark, prolific and profound. What an artist whose spark just brings along such important dialogue for all of us. And so what she does through compelling and emotional and provocative art is she asks us to really be humanly thoughtful about important things like race, history, and beauty. She is smart and ever so clairvoyant. Jay Albanese, very adept at thinking about what needs to be taught and at which level. Students talk about him all the time. He just draws students into his subject matter and gives them the opportunity to really start developing their ability to synthesize complex issues. He's thoughtfully engaging and very prolific. Susan Gooden, groundbreaking achievements and dedication to service to all. She is an incredible teacher, but she's also a wonderful mentor, and she's an inspiration to us all. She's committed to inclusion, she embraces human beings, and she is, let me say, very astute. And some of you know exactly what I mean by that. She figures it all out before most of us do. Matthew Banks, wow, how could you achieve so much in such an early period of time in your career? This guy has made a lot of important discoveries, and he's made a lot of things happen in his academic and research career, and he's in the process now of really passing on that incredible energy to so many students who will follow him. Very advanced, and I will say, based on the work that he's doing with opioids and other things, very relevant, something that's very important to us at this institution. Sarah Golding, she has made a strong, deep commitment to education and advising. This is someone who does very well in the research environment, has done very well in the research environment, but is drawn to support the diverse populations who she wants to help move through their careers. And so here's a talented researcher who's dedicated her life, really, to the next generation, next generations, I should say. And so it's been an interesting week as we've welcomed new faculty members, and we've had various sessions with schools and the college to welcome faculty colleagues back. It's been a lot of fun. And we've talked all week about what really distinguishes VCU's faculty, and it really is about innovation and transformation and collaboration. And those are words that a lot of institutions use, but we have a lot that we can actually put behind those words that shows the evidence that we are probably making it real a lot more rapidly than most institutions. And I'm really proud because part of that evidence is the transformational impact that we actually have on the communities that we care about, the communities that we serve. I want to thank, as Gail did, I don't think we can ever thank them enough, the past award recipients. I know most of them. I appreciate them tremendously. And let me say to you and to today's award recipients that it just continues to be an honor to be a member of the VCU faculty. And that honor is, of course, because of the great work that you do, the foundation that you have laid for all of us. The most important thing we do is we continue to take what we do at this institution as a 21st century research university, a great model for the future, and really connect it to the greatest and most important needs of the people in our community. And we have to do a lot of what we do with tremendous creativity, and my faculty colleagues represent that. And by the way, I want to stop and take a moment. Our board members were recognized, but I also want to recognize a former board member who's here, along with his wife, who was a faculty member at VCU, who invests deeply in the creativity of our faculty, the great work of our faculty. Bill and Pam Royal, thank you. You're two examples among several. Lou is here and various others who invest, but without that kind of investment, which is important from a material standpoint, but what's almost more important is just that you show that you believe in us by investing back in us, and we thank you for that. This is going to be a great year. I'm very, very excited about the future, and I'm really pleased to take a moment, take a deep breath, and just recognize people who deserve to be recognized, the best of Virginia Commonwealth University. Thank you.
Now we're going to begin with our first award, the Presidential Medallion. This honors outstanding contributions made by members of our own VCU community. The award recognizes individuals for their extraordinary achievement in learning and commitment to the mission of VCU. This year's Presidential Medallion goes to Dr. Michael Davis. Michael Davis is a respected and admired leader in higher education. And Michael, your outstanding contributions, vision, and influence have guided the School of Education for nearly 4 decades. You've been a champion for our university and the Richmond community, starting at VCU as an assistant professor of early childhood education in 1979. Then later serving as a department chair, senior associate dean, and interim dean in the School of Education. You also served as interim vice provost for academic and faculty affairs from 2014 to 2015, and retired as a special assistant to the provost in May. It is because of your tireless work and commitment to our institution and our region that we honor you today. Please join me in honoring Dr. Davis.
Michael Davis, by the authority vested in me by the Board of Visitors of Virginia Commonwealth University, it is my pleasure and distinct honor to present you with this award, the highest award at the university, the Presidential Medallion.
Good morning. President Rao, Provost Hackett, Vice President Rappley, distinguished faculty awardees, colleagues, and guests. I'm honored beyond words to receive the Presidential Medallion because everyone in the university, students, staff, teaching, research, administrative, and professional faculty makes VCU great. I joined the university in 1979. And in the last 37 years, our multi-talented students and faculty have become more diverse. New programs have been developed and facilities have been built, so we are providing a first-rate urban research university education to those in the VCU family. That education is there for all who embrace lifelong learning. To name but a few, the Living Learning Communities, the re-envisioned library, the new School of Nursing building, the McLaughlin Medical Education Building, Engineering Academic Learning Commons, the Cary Street Rec Center, the Siegel Center, and the soon-to-be-realized ICA and Allied Health Professions buildings provide educational opportunities that did not exist when I arrived. More importantly, the teaching that goes on is less siloed, more interdisciplinary, integrated, and experiential, and reflects what and how our students will need to know and learn to be successful in 2040. I have had the great good fortune to serve in a variety of positions at department, school, and university levels. I learned from each one that a great university is not one that is perfect, but rather one that strives for perfection each and every day. We make a new discovery, learn about and embrace our differences, and become more culturally literate when we come to campus. We strive to improve the human condition and, of course, to make it real. Thank you to my wife, Connie, our daughters, Megan and Sally, our 5 grandchildren, my friends, my amazing School of Education colleagues, and thanks to each of you for contributing to this wonderful institution. Thank you.
Now I'd like to introduce Associate Dean James Mays from the College of Humanities and Sciences. Associate Dean Mays, will you please come forward to introduce the recipient of the 2016 University Award of Excellence?
Thank you, Provost Hackett. It is my pleasure to present this year's University Award of Excellence to Dr. M. Sami El-Shal, Chair and Professor in the Department of Chemistry in the College of Humanities and Sciences. Regarded as a leader in the fields of physical chemistry and nanoscience, Dr. El-Shal has published more than 220 research papers, holds several U.S. patents, secured more than $9.5 million in external funding, and trained numerous students and researchers from around the world. His exceptional accomplishments over 27 years is deserving of this special recognition. We are proud of Dr. El-Shal's lifetime work to expand scholarship, education, and service in science, and honor his many achievements today. Please join me in congratulating Dr. El-Shal. Dr. Rao, will you please escort Dr. El-Shal to the podium to receive his award?
Thank you very much, President Rao. Thank you, Provost Hackett. Thank you, Associate Dean James. It's really a great pleasure and honor to have this award. And I'd like to start also by thanking Dr. Sally Honeycutt, the Associate Chair of the Department of Chemistry, for working very hard on the nomination. It feels like only a few years ago when I was hired here at VCU in the last century, in 1989, I started here. I started with a very small research group consisting of 2 undergraduate students. They helped me set up my lab. They actually did the first experiments in my lab on nucleation and clusters, and they published the first paper I ever had at VCU, and that first paper came only 6 months after I arrived here. Since then, many people contributed to our research in chemistry, in clusters, nucleation, and nanoparticles. So soon after, our lab became known as the CNN lab. CNN, this is the true CNN. Stands for clusters, nuclei, and nanoparticles. This is a place where, under one roof, these species are being studied and investigated for energy and environmental applications. These people who contributed to the advances in this lab include many students, over 30 Ph.D. and master graduates, over 25 postdocs and visiting scholars, and most important, more than 75 undergraduate research students. These people and the current members of the CNN lab are being recognized today by the University Award of Excellence for their passion for research and discovery. And that passion is not limited to the lab. That passion is always extended to the classroom, even at the freshman level. I am a firm believer that excellence in research should be transferred to excellence in teaching. In all the classes I teach at VCU, I always include research innovation and discovery. The students in our chemistry department, they learn how to make chemical solutions in the chemistry lab, but they also learn that chemistry offers unique, real solutions to real-world problems. They definitely learn that. They learn that chemistry offers solutions to energy problems, to clean environment, to new materials, and to healthcare. The passion for research and the passion for teaching created another new passion for me. And this is a passion that occupies most of my time now, which is creating a strong partnership between the chemistry department at VCU and the minority high schools in the Richmond area. I really would like to see our undergraduate chemistry students mentoring minority high school students in Richmond, working with them, helping them for their science and math classes, joining with them for research projects here at VCU, and guiding them for a better and great academic environment at VCU. This is my passion now, and I'm working hard to achieve this goal, and with the help of my colleagues and my students and our undergraduates, I'm sure we will achieve this goal. Finally, I'd like to conclude my remarks by thanking the real love and the real passion in my life. That's my wife, Lisa, sitting right here, and my children, Sarah, Noah, and Sharif. They couldn't be here. But their love always inspires me and moves me forward and keeps me thinking of always the next step and keeps me enjoying everything I do every day at VCU. Thank you very much.
Interim Dean for the School of the Arts, Dr. James Frazier, will now come forward to introduce the recipient of the 2016 Distinguished Scholarship Award.
Thank you, Provost Hackett. It is my distinct honor to present this year's Distinguished Scholarship Award to Professor Sonia Clark, Chair and Director of Graduate Programs in the Department of Craft Material Studies in the School of the Arts. This award is fitting recognition for Professor Clark, whose bold and impeccable work using raw materials to reflect and comment on culture and identity has been featured in over 300 museums and galleries around the world and reviewed in several major publications. Since joining VCU in 2006, Professor Clark has led her department to success, as 4 graduate programs are currently ranked among the nation's top 10 by U.S. News and World Report. For her successful leadership and excellence in scholarly activity, we are pleased to honor Professor Clark today. Please join me in congratulating Professor Sonia Clark. Dr. Rao, will you please escort Professor Clark to the podium to accept her award?
So thank you, President Rao and Provost Hackett and Dean Frazier, and thanks to all of you who watched me negotiate that at a snail's pace. Those of you who know me know that I don't usually do many things slowly, and though I'm Jamaican, clearly I'm not channeling Usain Bolt today. So it is true, I have hurt my back, but that is not going to slow me down. Instead, I decided to think about it as a metaphor. You know, there's this great aphorism that if you want to go far, you go by yourself. messed up the aphorism. If you want to go fast, you go by yourself. And if you want to go far, you go with the community. So I'm taking it as a hint or as a reminder that I'm going slow today because of the community that I have had the privilege of being involved with here, both at VCU, my really, really fine, excellent colleagues in the Craft and Materials Studies Department. Many of them are here today. Can you raise your hands, you guys? Yeah. And in the School of the Arts, I know there's some previous recipients of these awards who are also in the community. Can I see those folks who came out today too? Yeah, School of the Arts. Raise your hand. Yeah. And so one of the things that I'm often thinking about is that what we do together often has greater impact than what we do separately. And I'm an artist by choice. Many, many years ago, there was a little girl who told me that her definition of art was drawing a line around her think. And so I continue to do that. I believe in the power of metaphors and the power of objects to change the world, to elicit curiosity, and to bring people together through discourse and discovery. And I believe that art has the capacity to activate and trigger that power. For these reasons, I chose to be an artist. And I'm deeply grateful and appreciative of this recognition, especially in the context of the environment at VCU, because we're all so busy. Sometimes it's hard to see each other, because we're so busy taking care of our students, doing our work, doing the research, our commitment to each other, all of this. So it's meaningful to be seen and to be acknowledged. My gratitude is firmly rooted in the fact that I wouldn't be standing here if it weren't for the daily efforts of those who help me and keep me buoyant, challenge me, and support me. And so I'm just going to give a shout out to a few people. Daryl Harper, my beloved. Where are you? I know you're here. There you are. He also happens to be the chair of the music department, so we're actually in his hall right now. So really, I couldn't be here without him. You see what I'm saying? Debbie Quick, who is my assistant chair, I see her up there in the rafters. Couldn't do what I do without her. And Meg Roberts, who is an alum of our program, who helps me in my studio. So my gratitude is deep. It's pervasive. And I'm hoping that while we work together, through this time when we're sort of dangerously anchored to our past in ways that prevent us from seeing each other, that we do continue to see each other through the arts, that we do go slowly and far together. Thank you.
Good morning. It's now my pleasure to introduce our interim dean of the L. Douglas Wilder School of Government and Public Affairs, Dr. John Accordino. And Dr. Accordino, will you please come forward and introduce to us the recipient of the 2016 Distinguished Teaching Award. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rappley. It's my pleasure to present this year's Distinguished Teaching Award to Dr. J. Albanese, Chair and Professor in the Criminal Justice Program in the L. Douglas Wilder School of Government and Public Affairs. Throughout his time at VCU, Dr. Albanese has taught a wide range of courses from introductory to graduate level. He strives to help students bridge the gap from classroom learning to applying what they have learned to real-world scenarios. To assist in this mission, Dr. Albanese makes sure to integrate media and technology into his classes, helping to illustrate the relevance of the material, and he is always looking for ways to innovate in his teaching. Dr. Albanese's success and the successes of those who have grown under his guidance is a ringing endorsement of the power of his teaching abilities. We're privileged to honor his accomplishments today. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Albanese and Dr. Rao. Will you please escort Dr. Albanese to the podium to accept his award?
Thank you very much for this recognition. A few short thoughts. I have the privilege of teaching for a living. There's no better way to live than to talk about ideas. And as a criminologist, I get to talk about some of the greatest ideas. I get to talk every day about truth and justice, liberty, law, ethics, human rights, good and evil. And over the years, many people have asked me how to be a good teacher. And I think you can summarize it in one sentence, which I learned a long time ago. And that is, you become a good teacher when you learn to speak with your students rather than to your students. I have found good teaching is always a conversation. It's simply difficult to learn anything important without talking about it. I have some people to thank for my presence here today. First, my wife, Leslie, who is here today. She was there before I taught even my very first class. So I thank her for her love, her patience especially, her support over many, many years. Second, to my graduate program at Rutgers University, where I received some good training, especially with regard to critical thinking. As my advisor told me, he said, other people might have better data than you have, but they're not going to outthink you. Third, to my colleagues at the Wilder School and the faculty and staff there, I thank them for the high degree of engagement with our students, and their enthusiasm is contagious, and I believe that our students feel that. And finally, I'd like to thank my students for providing me the forum to talk about the great ideas in ways that I believe have benefited us both. Thank you very much for the recognition.
And Dr. Accordino, would you please return to the podium and present another faculty from the Wilder School with the Distinguished Service Award?
Thank you, Dr. Rappley. It is now my honor to present this year's Distinguished Service Award to Dr. Susan Tinsley Gooden, Professor of Public Administration in the L. Douglas Wilder School of Government and Public Affairs. Dr. Gooden's impact can be seen across various communities. Her commitment to public service and equality while delivering and expecting excellence is well demonstrated. She is currently president of the American Society for Public Administration. When it comes to students, she never wavers in providing the support and advice required to assure that they have the tools they need to succeed academically in their chosen profession or as community members. Dr. Gooden's 12 years of service have impacted the university and all of its members in a way that will continue to improve our world. Please join me in celebrating Dr. Gooden, and Dr. Rao, please escort Dr. Gooden to the podium to accept her award.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that very kind introduction, John, and I cannot think of a better way to start off the academic year than to receive this award, and I am most humbled and honored to receive this. I would like to first thank President Rao, to to thank all the members of the selection committee. I'd also like to thank former Dean Verma and Associate Dean Jill Gordon for nominating me for this award. I am indeed honored. I have found that I have had a great opportunity to serve at VCU in particular. I am honored to serve with some phenomenal colleagues at the Wilder School in our MPA program, phenomenal colleagues at the Black Education Association, colleagues at the Gracie Harris Leadership Institute, where I learned so much about service from Dr. Harris, and to the public administration community at large. When I first began getting involved in community service, one of my mentors, Sam Myers, who's at the University of Minnesota, I was so excited, had gotten elected to a position on policy council in the Association for Public Policy Analysis and Management. And I said, thank you, Sam, I really appreciate all your help with this. And he said, look, I didn't work to get you elected to this for you to sit down in a seat. You need to use your voice. And so I said, okay. And so I've taken that as a call to try to do all the good that I can for as many as I can to promote social equity in all that we do, particularly for marginalized voices. And VCU has been a great place to do that, to propose and develop new ideas, and I think VCU's record in terms of equity and diversity is certainly very exemplary when we compare us to our peers. And so I'm very proud to be able to serve at a wonderful university as VCU. All awards, of course, are special, but receiving a service award from those you work with most closely is particularly rewarding. And that's especially the case because, as many of you know, I always talk about we don't want to walk the walk, we don't want to talk the talk of equity, we also want to walk the walk. And part of walking that walk is in our service on committees, our service to our professional associations. I am deeply appreciative of the support from my family, many who are here today. I'd like to thank my husband, Basil, who has been incredibly supportive. I'd also like to recognize and thank my parents who drove from Martinsville 3.5 hours, came up yesterday to be here for this award. And I would like to say, for those of you who think that I'm outspoken on committees, you got to be thankful you don't have my father on those committees because, oh my goodness, you know. But one of the things I'll have to say that I really want to say as a voice of appreciation to my dad, one of the things that he taught me at a young age is to never be afraid to stand alone. When you think that you are making a point, you're advancing justice, you're advancing equity, they can oftentimes be very difficult conversations to have, but to never be afraid to stand alone. And that is something that guides my work and that I continue to keep with me. So I had the opportunity this summer to spend some time in Cape Town. Lovely city, was my first visit to South Africa. Spent a lot of time learning a lot more about Nelson Mandela and his work. And as we continue to serve and continue to move toward a more just society, I think we should all be guided by the words of Nelson Mandela, which says, "It always seems impossible until it's done." Thank you very much.
Our next award is the Outstanding Early Career Faculty Award, and I'd like to introduce the Dean of our School of Medicine, Dr. Jerry Strauss.
Thank you, Dr. Rappley. It's my privilege to present the inaugural Outstanding Early Career Faculty Award to its first recipient, Dr. Matthew Banks, who is Assistant Professor in our Department of Pharmacology and Toxicology in the School of Medicine. This is an award that shines the spotlight on the future of this great university. Although early in his career, Dr. Banks is already making important contributions to the field of addiction medicine. And as Dr. Rao noted, this is a major public health problem recognized by the White House and the Commonwealth of Virginia as a huge need. He's not only excelling in research, but teaching in service. And as noted in the program, Dr. Banks has published 66 peer-reviewed papers, and he's co-authored 5 book chapters. He also has several federal research grants to his credit. And he sits in the most distinguished department of pharmacology and toxicology in the country. And senior faculty who are luminaries in the field are here with us today to recognize the accomplishments of Dr. Banks. His research is groundbreaking, as I mentioned, and it does fill a very important public health need. We're extremely proud to honor him, the future of our School of Medicine in this university. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Banks. Dr. Rao, will you please escort Dr. Banks to the podium to receive the award?
Thank you very much, Dr. Rao, for creating this new award. And I humbly stand before you based on the support and mentorship of all those in my department and all those families and friends who have supported me over these years. My chairman, Dr. Dewey, my dean, Dr. Strauss, and all those, I stand here because of you. More importantly, I stand here because of the support and sacrifice of my wife, Carrie, who has allowed me to pursue these research interests. And if you'll allow me to offer one piece of advice to students both old and young, it is a quote from Sir Winston Churchill. Success is defined as the ability to go from failure to failure without the loss of enthusiasm. Thank you very much.
And finally, this morning, I'd like to ask Dr. Mays to return to the podium to introduce our final award for outstanding term faculty.
Thank you, Dr. Rappley. It is my pleasure to present the inaugural Outstanding Term Faculty Award to its first recipient, Dr. Sarah Golding, Instructor and Director of Undergraduate Research in the Department of Biology in the College of Humanities and Sciences. In addition, Dr. Golding serves as Associate Research Training Director in the Center on Health Disparities in the School of Medicine. In her roles, Dr. Golding mentors and empowers the next generation of young researchers through her engaging science courses and her work with innovative programs that increase the recruitment and retention of students from diverse populations. Today, we applaud Dr. Golding's accomplishments in teaching and service, which supports our university's strategic plan, Quest for Distinction. Please join me in celebrating Dr. Golding. Dr. Rao, will you please escort Dr. Golding to the podium to receive her award?
Thank you for the introduction, Dr. Mays, and thank you, Dr. Rao, Dr. Hackett, Dr. Rappley, for having us here today. It's truly an honor to receive this award, and I thank the college and the presidential committees for recognizing my contribution. But perhaps more importantly, for the first time, VCU is formally recognizing the unique contribution of all term faculty here at VCU. So I'd like to take a moment to recognize the term faculty. Years ago, I came to VCU on a 100-degree day as a junior in college through an exchange program with one of VCU's partner schools, the University of the West of England. And that partnership's arranged by Dr. Jan Klobowski, who's here with us today. I engaged on a one-year, hands-on, research-intensive research experience in the Massey Cancer Center under the direction of Dr. Chris Valerie. And science came alive in my eyes. And that experience went on to shape all of my future research and career decisions. In 2011, I jumped at the chance to join the faculty in biology to formally organize undergraduate research for VCU's largest major. And for those who don't know, that's 2,400 majors plus. I thank my chair, Don Young, and the rest of the biology faculty for recognizing the value of my position and giving me the time and support to make a difference in that role. At the same time, I joined the research training team at the Center on Health Disparities to help facilitate some recently funded NIH undergraduate research training programs, the Initiative to Maximize Student Development and the Minority Access to Research Careers Award. These programs provide mentorship and training for students from underrepresented backgrounds to navigate the unfamiliar path of entering Ph.D. programs in the biomedical sciences, with the final goal of diversifying the science professorate. To work side by side with these talented students and see them win national awards and gain entry into Ph.D. programs at schools such as Duke, UVA, Vanderbilt, and VCU, to name a few, is very humbling. But like anything, this is a huge team effort. I'd like to recognize the program directors of the IMSD program and the MARC program, Drs. Lou D. Felice and John Ryan, and the rest of the research training team in the Center on Health Disparities, Joyce Lloyd, Marcy Wright, and formerly Suzanne Barbour. These programs would not be possible without the unwavering support of Ponjola Coney and Dean Strauss, and the Office of Research, Frank Macrina, Ann Nichols Casebolt, and of course, Herb Hill. In closing, I have to come back to the students. I'm really proud of what they've achieved so far, and I'm excited for their future as VCU increases its commitment for experiential learning experiences for undergraduates. Thank you.
So to all my distinguished colleagues, our staff, our board members, and the members of the Faculty Senate, it really is an honor to be part of this ceremony today in awarding, recognizing and giving awards to this amazing group of people. They represent a snapshot of the talent and the creativity that lies within the faculty of Virginia Commonwealth University. And it predicts a very strong future for us and for our mission. I think you heard in each individual a humility of person and an enormous pride in purpose and what drives them to accomplish the things that they do. And that's quite an ascent for us as we follow in their draft, so to speak, and we try to keep up with the accomplishments that they make every day. You also heard everyone thank their family. So I'd like for us to acknowledge the family members in the audience. We know that this kind of accomplishment never happens on behalf of just an individual, but it's a family effort. So let's have a round of applause for all of our families. All of our recipients are pioneers in their field, and we commend their contribution to the advancement of our university and our mission. They support our institutional quest for distinction, and we want each of them to know, and all of you to share in the pride that we have and the deep appreciation we have for how they have devoted their careers to us here and to our mission. Each award outlines the depth and commitment to our university's core values and frames our obligation to making this world a better place through education and opportunity. It's because of the hard work of these individuals that we are able to excel in academics, that we train the next generation to be at the forefront, at the vanguard of cutting-edge discoveries. Today, I hope that you leave here all with a greater understanding of how much we value the work that is done here on behalf of our university, but really on behalf of the people of the Commonwealth of Virginia. We have colleagues with a strong commitment and devotion to education, and they set a high bar for our future academic leaders and the innovations that are to come. Because of the passion of these people, VCU will continue to position itself as a leader. and their leadership is essential to the continued growth, both in our region but in the nation. At this time, I'd like all of you to stand and join me in congratulating once again our award recipients. Thank you. Thank you. And you can be seated again. And thank you, though. Don't keep clapping for another minute, and thanks to our Phoenix Brass Band, who played for us so wonderfully today. So this brings our ceremony to a close. Please do remain seated as the recessional party leaves the platform, and we invite you to join us in the lobby for a reception. Thank you very much.